The man who stood still, from AFCON to Patrice Lumumba. In the soaring chaos of AFCON 2025 stadium, with flags waving, drums pounding, and thousands of voices screaming for DR Congo, one man did extraordinary. He did not cheer, he did not jump. He stood perfectly still, eyes sharp, posture unwavering, a silent sentinel in the sea of excitement. Fans around him gasped and pointed, and the internet noticed. They called him Lumumba. Michel Nkuka Mboladinga, a devoted supporter, had gone viral for not skills on the field, but embodying the spirit of a nation. Michael resemblance Patrice, Congo's first prime minister, was uncanny. But it wasn't just his face that drew attention, but it was what he represented: strength, dignity, resilience. For a full 90 minutes, as players battled for victory, Michael remained unmoved, a living echo of history. To understand the depth of this gesture, we must travel back to the story of Patrice Lumumba, the early life of Patrice Lumumba. Patrice Lumumba was born July 2nd, 1925, in the village of Onumbulu in the Belgian Congo, today's DR Congo. His father, a farmer, and his mother, a housewife, gave him humble beginnings, but Patrice showed an early brilliance and curiosity. He attended mission schools where he was introduced to Western education, a rare education under colonial rule. Lumumba became aware of the injustice around him. The Belgian colonial system treated Congolese people as second-class citizens, depriving them of land, resources, and dignity. Young Patrice witnessed poverty, exploitation, and of course, exploitation. First-hand experience that later fueled his activities. He worked as a postal clerk and a journalist, becoming a voice of Congolese rights and slowly emerging in the leader as an independent movement. His writings and speeches were direct, demanding that Congolese people be treated as equal. Lumumba rise to power. In 1960, after decades of struggle against the colonial rule, Congo approached independence. Patrice Lumumba became the first prime minister of the new Democratic Republic of Congo. His rise was methodic, but fraught with tension. Lumumba was a visionary leader who dreamed of a united Congo, free from exploitations and divisions. He sought economic independence, equitable distribution of resources, and a Congo that belonged to Congolese people, and not just foreign powers. But however, his rule was challenged, Political rivals, local leaders, and even foreign governments viewed him as a threat. Cold War powers, including the United States and Belgium, feared his nationalist and also pan-African stance. Within months of taking office, Congo plunged into chaos. It never got to a point of Katanga, but it was seeded back by foreign interests. Lumumba called for national interests, met a lot of resistance. He appealed to the United Nations for help, but their national resources were always hesitant and weak. Lumumba became a target in September 1960. He was arrested by political rivals, betrayed by some of his own allies. The young prime minister, who once stood as a symbol of hope for millions, was later handed over to forces loyal to secessionists. Leaders in Katanga, the assassination. On January 17th, 1961, Patrice Lumumba was assassinated. He was executed by firing squad, and his death was covered up and misinterpreted in decades. This act was not just a political killing, it was a symbolic blow to African independence movement everywhere. In his death, Lumumba became a martyr. His life and ideas inspired generations of African leaders, activities, and ordinary people who saw him to demand courage of freedom and quality. Michel Nkuka Mboladinga, a modern echo. Michael's silence in the AFCON stadium was more than fathom. It was a tribute to Lumumba's courage. Every stiff stance and unwavering gaze inspired Lumumba's name. Social media erupted, fans became a lot of names, and Mumba V celebrating his silence and his dedication. In the dedications and in a stadium full of noise, he reminded millions of struggle, of his trials and histories, which can never be forgotten. From the street of Kinshasa to the street of Morocco to Lumumba's spirit that lived again, not in speeches of banner, but in a powerful stance of a single fan. The legacy extends to the players. Michael's acts didn't just go unnoticed by the players themselves. During the tournament, several players eliminated his stand, including Nigerians player Adams Akko, which celebrated after scoring. This gesture became a tournament-wide symbol, connecting fans, players, and histories in the sheer moment of reflection and pride. Michael reminded the world that courage doesn't just roar. Sometimes it stands firm, silent and unwavering. Patrice Lumumba's life, though tragically cut short, left a legacy that demanded respect, resemblance, and action. In the AFCON stand, the past and the present met. One man inspired by history showed that symbol matters a lot. The heroism can be quiet, but yet it can sound louder than any cheer. And sometimes, and that silent heroism can echo an inspiring champion on the pitch. Thank you for listening to this amazing tale. We hope you stay with us. Click on the follow button or subscribe button. Until next time, see you and bye for now.